like being the very last person to watch an MCU film? Not exactly, but such is life when your town doesn't have a movie theater. That might be changing soon, but I'm not entirely sure. But Disney Plus has finally released Thor: Love and Thunder for everybody else on the planet that hasn't been able to see it, like me. So it's time to find out if everybody has been right so far in being a little bit on this movie. Thor: Love and Thunder is directed once again by Taika Waititi, and after his retirement is interrupted by Gorr, the God Butcher, a galactic killer who seeks the extinction of the gods. Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, Korg, and his ex-girlfriend, Jane Foster, who, as it turns out, is also Thor, but the mighty Thor this time. Together, they embark upon a harrowing cosmic adventure to uncover the mystery of the God Butcher's vengeance and to stop him before it's too late. Now, before I get too ahead of myself, I want to say that, I've been watching other reviews on this film, and a lot of people haven't had the best things to say about it. Some people tolerate it, other people hate it. So I didn't know what to expect from this, but at the same time, I don't really take people seriously when they don't like an MCU film. I mean, there's so many out there that just can't stand one of the best MCU films out there to date. I just let people say what they want to say about any of these movies because, to be honest, I probably won't agree with them. And when it comes down to Thor: Love and Thunder, I don't agree with them. I don't think it's the best Thor movie out there. To me, that's still Ragnarok, but this is a close second. It has its issues though, and I will get into that. But first I want to talk about Christian Bale as Gorr, the Butcher of Gods, the God Butcher, the guy who slices gods up and serves them up as God burgers. That doesn't happen, but it should. This dude's awesome. I love Christian Bale's performance in this film. Every time that he's on screen, it is dark, it is scary, it is seriously memorable. The look of him, the sound of him, what he says and how he says it, and his overall ideology, I guess you could say, the reason why he does what he does, it's relatable, which is what you want to see in a villain. Now, his entire backstory is not really explored as much as I would have preferred in order to, humanize him a little bit more. It's only touched upon a little bit just to give you a twinge of empathy towards his character. I understand why they did that, but I don't think audiences everywhere are going to feel as much empathy and understanding of his character as they obviously already did with Thanos. Also, everything that has to do with Natalie Portman's portrayal as Jane Foster, once again, I like her as an actress. I can't think of a single performance that she's done that I was just like, with. And the same goes here. I think that this might actually be her best performance in a Thor movie because she's given a little bit more screen time. She's given a little bit more importance for obvious reasons. If you've seen the movie, which you probably have, I feel like I'm the last one to never have seen it until now. But just in case you haven't, I'm not going to spoil you on what her ordeal is and why or how she came to be Mighty Thor. That's spoiler territory. But she does a pretty great job there. I didn't know if she would or not, but she feels pretty good in this role. I was curious on how they were going to mesh the Thor story with the Guardians of the Galaxy story, because I know that at the end of Endgame or whatever, they teamed up, and they are teamed up sort of in this movie, but only in the beginning. And I feel like that was just put in there to explain where that story went, but I feel like it was underdeveloped other than that. Atmospherically, the film feels like Ragnarok, so it's very, very colorful. It's very comedic at times. The music's also really, really good. I know that some critics have complained about the music choices in this being stereotypical or just song choices that other movies have done over and over and over and over again. That didn't bother me. I never thought that it would, and it didn't. No, out of the things that are like Ragnarok in this film that I actually had a problem with was the comedy. While some jokes sort of fell flat for me, that's not my problem. My problem is that there wasn't a good balance between humor and drama. There's so many things going on in this film that could have been utilized a little bit better if they focused on the dark stuff, on the dramatic, on the suspenseful, on the threatening aspects of Gorr and what he could potentially do. But they don't focus so much on that because Thor keeps cracking jokes. So again, comedy is all timing, and I feel like with Ragnarok, they were able to balance those things a lot better than they were able to do here, because it really just did feel like joke after joke after joke, even when it should have been a little bit more serious. And don't get me wrong, there are serious moments, and the serious moments in the film are great. There's just not enough of them. My biggest complaint about this film is that it's way too bloated. There is way too much going on, way too many locations, way too many characters, way too many storylines kind of happening simultaneously, that it is way too over convoluted. And that affects the pacing of the film overall. And that's why I feel like some people, when they watch it, they might check their watch here and there because like, dang, how long is this movie? So overall, I don't think it's as good as Ragnarok, but it is far from a bad movie. I would much rather watch this than Thor 1 or 2 any day of the week. But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed the film. I will be rewatching this more than once, more than just on a rewatch occasion. If I feel like watching a Thor movie, it's either going to be Ragnarok or this. With that in mind, let's take a look at my final score for Thor Love and Thunder, which I gave an A-letter grade, yes, A, with a final overall score of 92%, 92 out of 100 possible stars. I think that this film is made well. It is shot well. It is edited well. The use of music is memorable, even if you don't like the songs that they chose. The visuals are top notch. The jokes do sometimes work. There's just too many of them. Natalie Portman as Jane Foster is great. Christian Bale steals the show entirely. Definitely not a movie that I think warrants people complaining about. It's good. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Let me know what you thought about Thor Love and Thunder in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace!